Wimbledon 2023 is approaching its business end, and what's happened in this edition is that there's two games that have happened in the first week, let's say, that haven't gone the full distance the same day that the games have started. Why was that the case, and what are these two games that I'm talking about? We're going to be telling you that in greater detail in this very video. I'm sure if you've been following Wimbledon this year, you would have heard about the curfew quite a lot, and two games in particular involving legends of the games in many ways, those in Andy Murray and you've got Novak Djokovic. Both of them were involved in the two games which couldn't go the full distance because there was a curfew which means that play stops at 11 o'clock. There's been some exceptions in the past as well. We're yet to see those exceptions being made in this edition, but why exactly are all Wimbledon games halted at 11 o'clock, or in fact even earlier at times? If you don't see the match, let's say, coming to a closure around the 11 o'clock mark, why exactly is this curfew in place? What is the curfew there for? We will tell you all of that in this video. Now, what exactly is the curfew? Let's take you back to when the decision was exactly made. The decision was made back in 2009, and the curfew essentially means that there will be no play at any of the courts as far as Wimbledon goes after 11 o'clock. That's the cutoff time, or the curfew time as it's called. This was an agreement that was made amongst the officials of the Wimbledon, the tournament organizers and the local residents. So the concerned stakeholders had come together back in 2009, and they decided that there is going to be no play, and local residents, by the way, were also involved here because of transportation reasons and logistical reasons. That primarily was the factor why the concerned stakeholders decided back in 2009 that there will not be any play after 11 o'clock. Now, why exactly is that the reason? Because if play, let's say, goes beyond 11 o'clock, you often see that take a toll on the transportation system of London. The underground over there operates till about midnight on weekdays. Yes, there's an extension on weekends, but at times you see, and we've seen that in the past in this very competition, there have been games, there's been one game which has gone beyond the 11-hour mark as well. So given all of that and the kind of toll that it takes on the transportation system, it was decided in 2009 that 11 o'clock will be the cutoff time. In fact, what we also do know as far as how the transportation works in London is that from the All England Club, it is about a 10 to 15 minute walk as well to the nearest underground station, and of course then you've got that 12 o'clock limit on weekdays. So in order to so that the public transportation system doesn't get strained, it doesn't have to deal with a lot of pressure later in the day, or rather late at night, this decision was then made, and that's why you see now in this edition as well two games, one involving of course Andy Murray, in which he did, by the way, while he was playing against Tsitsipas, he had the lead at the break of play, but the following day things changed and it was Tsitsipas who got the better of Andy Murray. Also, another occasion that had happened, and this happened just about a day back, when you had Novak Djokovic, the 23-time Grand Slam winner. His game also could not go the full distance because of the curfew, but unlike Andy Murray, he did come back and go ahead and wrap up his game. Now, the question that people ask is, why can't you have an early start? If this is the reason that the public transportation system gets strained and logistically it gets difficult for the authorities over there to take care of the crowds, and there are big crowds over there, not just inside the stadiums or inside the courts but outside as well, why not look at an early start? This is one of the quotes we managed to pull out for you from the Wimbledon CEO. Let's tell you what he said. He said that when people buy a ticket to come to Wimbledon, they want to experience a day at the championships, perhaps to go get something to eat, get some strawberries, some cream, and we understand that our guests want to spend the whole day. So it is basically because of the experience of the people. Remember, you're talking about Wimbledon tickets and match experience as well. Those tickets cost a fortune at times. So what the Wimbledon authorities are looking at is, they're looking at a holistic and a complete experience for the people who manage to take time out and come to the games. They want people to spend the entire day over there and they have a good experience, which is why they feel that you don't really want an early start, because it takes time for people to get to the All England club as well, and once they're there, for all the effort and time that they're taking out, you can't really have an early start, let's say at 1 o'clock. That was one of the ideas which was explored. The other reasons why you can't have an early start is because you need time for the grass to recover as well. That's also one of the reasons why you don't have an early start in Wimbledon. And as has been seen over the last few years, there are more eyeballs that you get with a start that is at 1:30 p.m., which has been the case for about a year or two now. So with that 1:30 start and play going till 11 at night, so those 9.5 hours of play that you get, that makes for a good experience is what the authorities feel, and that's exactly the reason why you're looking at play not being started early at the center court and all the other adjacent courts as well. That primarily is why you have the curfew in place. We tried to explain to you what the logistical reasons were and why exactly are the authorities not in favor of an early start, which is why you've seen that happen till for a couple of matches already, that play had to be stopped at 11. In fact, even a couple of times before that. By the way, I mentioned about exceptions in the past. Let me take you back to 2012, wherein Andy Murray was in action, and that time you saw, because he was in the fourth set, he was headed for a winner over there. That's when play was extended. There was some sort of an extension that was given, and play wrapped up at 11:02 p.m. So the authorities feel yes, there is a bit of a flexibility when you see what stage the match is at, but if at all you look at it that the match isn't quite headed for a closure, or you don't see the match ending in about 15-20 minutes space, you don't look at those extensions, and that's why you look at matches being suspended at around 10:45 also at times. At 10:35 also we had a game suspended this year. So that's primarily the reason why you have the curfew in place at the All England club.